Thanks so much for joining us, guys. And this week I am joined by Mr. Zachary Finelli.
Hello.
Zach is our assistant production supervisor. Now, what he does for us is what you see in front of you. He does a lot of the special builds, a lot of the custom builds that are one-offs, which is primarily 80% of the builds that we do here. And he also is more of a special projects manager. Zach, why don't you tell the viewers on YouTube what you do?
I lead specialized projects. So, for example, a company comes to us, wants a bunch of systems one-off. Like, I will take lead on that and make sure it gets done right.
I mean, that's an understatement to me, dude. Some of the stuff I've seen you do, like from beginning to end, I think this is actually Zach's best that I've seen to date. It's going to be really hard for you to top this system. So tell us what you've named this system, Zach.
So I've named this the Section 9.
What's that from?
It's from Ghost in the Shell. That's the name of the
right.
special task force
Okay.
that the anime centers around.
But my favorite thing about this system so far is the fact that you wouldn't be able to tell, especially in a lot of the photos that you're probably already seeing around this system being at CES for 2019. These tubes are actually part of the loop. It's not, they look different visually. You can see these are more kind of a glossy and these are kind of a matte. Yeah. That was actually done on purpose, right?
Correct. So I actually sanded these tubes up here, and I used some oil purple paint to make it blend better with the front of the case, because I felt that the gloss that you see with these tubes, it just stuck out too much. So that was my way of blending it all together.
Dude, you couldn't have done it any better, honestly. It looks like it's supposed to be this way. There is one very special component by Alphacool that they included in this build. Is that right?
Correct. So this is their Ice Power all-in-one radiator, which also includes, it has a D5 pump housed up here.
What?
Also, yep.
What?
Also has an included reservoir, and it comes with some Alphacool branded Be Quiet fans, so which are very nice.
Be Quiet partnered with them to include the fans on this.
Correct.
Saying. Really, that's a first.
Co-branded.
That is a first. That's a pretty big deal, because Be Quiet is well known for being quiet.
Yeah. So while I included a reservoir in this system, it's more for aesthetic purposes. The reservoir in this unit is definitely adequate for anything you had planned with it.
That reservoir is pretty sweet. That was actually custom made from Clockwork Industries to us. We reached out to Jim Wiest. Shout out to Jim Wiest for his efforts with this reservoir. Specifically for this build, Clockwork Industries can actually make a lot of reservoirs in this fashion, in 240 and 360, really whatever sizes you want, and in any custom way that you want it. The design, I can't take credit, and we can't take credit for the design of that reservoir. That was a surprise. That was all him. That was a surprise to Zach.
He just asked the color scheme, and he came out with this, with the AVA engraved in here. I really love that, with the AVA cutout and the purple coolant showing through.
Yeah, dude, it worked out beautifully, and it was, you had actually considered cutting that radiator in pump combo at one point, right?
I did, but then I decided against it. So
Alphacool thanks you. I'm sure.
I'm sure.
Don't worry, guys. We didn't do anything to your product. We swear.
This is more to do with my stubbornness on the case choice than anything else. Yeah. So what I ended up having to do is I had to shift the motherboard approximately 3 millimeters up, because it was hitting with the radiator. Right. So I had to do a bunch of cutting, new standoffs, the I/O shield I had to cut.
So you had to
cut
put
the graphics card.
All new standoffs in this.
Yes.
So you had to, because you shifted everything up, obviously there's no way you could line them up. So you had to basically drill new pilot holes for all those standoffs to support the board. Wow. And the beautiful thing is, and I'm sure we're going to show kind of some scrolling shots of the system in this video, you'll see in the back, you really can't tell that a whole lot by the position of the I/O panel. Zach didn't even have to cut anything on the back of the PC to make it work as is.
I whipped out just about all the painting tricks I had on this. I tried to leave no part untouched. So just about everything's painted. I painted the fans, painted the graphics card, painted the side of this radiator. I mean, I painted the case using a technique that I actually learned building Gundam models.
Gundam models?
Yes, sir.
Well, look at that.
They call it Gunpla.
Would you have ever thought in your youth of working on Gundam models that one day I'm going to use this to make a custom high-end case?
No.
No? Of course, all of this would not have been made possible without our partners Alphacool. Shout out to you guys for everything that you gave into this system to even make it possible. So I mean, that's really all about all I have to say about the system, as far as like everything that's in it. I mean, it speaks for itself. I could try to come up with more material to talk about, but I just look at it. Just look at this. Just look at it.